is a shooter.
And the Enjoy Illinois 300 is underway.
Spin, and this shot here by Robert Thomas was a thing of beauty.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Plus. We have baseball history galore tonight, as well as a check-in with an all-time St. Louis sports celebrity. But first, we have to talk some baseball present. The Cardinals spent Father's Day in Chicago, and it was a happy holiday indeed. And so for tonight's main event, let's head to Wrigley Field. Miles Mikolas has been pretty good lately. That trend continued today. Guess what other trend continued? The series of Pedro Pages. He goes deep for the second time in 3 days to give the Cards a 2-0 lead. Some great defense in left field today. Remember that. It's important going forward. Brendan Donovan makes this catch and is going to disappear into the ivy early on. Miles Mikolas took care of almost everything else. 6 in the third, no walks, 5 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. Ninth inning, 2-1 Cards lead. Ryan Helsley in, Patrick Wisdom up. Smokes one to left, but there's Donovan again. Great catch to end it. It's Helsley's league-leading 24 save. Another series win for the Cardinals and a special Father's Day memory for the Pages family.
It's the best present for in my life.
What was your reaction?
Wow.
You cried on Friday.
Yeah, and today, and tomorrow maybe.
UFL Championship at the Dome. The 2 loudest cheers of the day were for Charles Glenn on the anthem and Kurt Warner back in the building. On the field, it was domination. Adrian Martinez ran for 2 touchdowns, 3 for another. He got the MVP award from Tom Brady as the Birmingham Stallions obliterated the San Antonio Brahmas 25-0 in front of a posted attendance of more than 27,000 in St. Louis.
We said there's a lot of teams in the new UFL that have talent. It's going to be about who comes together as a team the fastest, and these guys gave up their individualism for the good of this team, and the results, a championship.
5 years ago this week, St. Louis partied like it had never partied before following the Blues' first ever Stanley Cup title. And one little girl was right in the middle of it all. This week I caught up with the one and only Layla Anderson, who now has a cup of her own. There were plenty of notable characters part of the Blues' 2019 Stanley Cup run. None were more memorable than Layla Anderson.
I won my part, they're gonna win their part. They support me, I support them.
The little girl fighting a rare autoimmune disease started as the Blues' taco-wearing inspiration and ended as a household name around the country. 5 years later, Layla gets recognized a bit less these days.
I'll wear like a jersey that says like Layla 55 and someone's like, oh my gosh, you like that little girl too? So do I. I was like, hey, I am that girl.
But most important, she's healthy.
I'm 100% donor cells, so I have no problems right now. I just have checkups every year, so blood work and everything. But other than that, I'm like any other teenager.
And Layla has even won a cup of her own.
This past season, my team and I won the Blue Note Cup, which I refer to as the Stanley Cup for youth hockey in Missouri. The semifinals, I actually scored my first goal, so that was crazy. I tied the game up for everybody.
The memories from 2019 still stand out for this now 16-year-old.
I had a broken ankle at the time because my bone density was really bad. And we're like waiting for the elevator, and I was like, boys, we just won the Stanley Cup. We're taking the stairs. So we all go down the stairs. We made it to the ice. They're like, Layla, your ankle's broken. I'm like, we just won the cup. Who cares?
And so does her relationship with Blues defenseman Colton Parayko.
I just texted Colton like an hour ago, just congratulating him on the 5-year anniversary, just reminiscing on the whole experience and thanking him for everything he's done for me. He's always been there for me and supported me through my health, and like made a video when I need it, and just always in my corner. And I think being out on the ice and able to celebrate with him during his special moment, I have chills. It was insane.
And even after 5 years, it still feels like a dream.
Obviously, I'm watching playoff hockey, and I was like, I can't believe that I was able to touch that trophy. I can't believe I was able to celebrate with my team, like celebrating that trophy that we just won. It's just like, none of it has felt real, and I don't really think it ever will.
And never doubt the St. Louis Blues, because we're bringing back that cup.
This Sports Plus conversation is sponsored by your Quality Ford dealers. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years.
This upcoming week, the Cardinals and Giants will play one of the most unique games in professional baseball history. An MLB game at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, the oldest ballpark in America. It's a game to salute the history of the Negro Leagues. So who better to talk to than the president of the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City, Bob Kendrick. Let's talk about Rickwood itself first. How special is it, not just as a ballpark, but really as a place in American history?
It's a shrine. It is a baseball cathedral. That stadium has so much history. We're talking about a number of Hall of Famers, both black and white and brown, who played in that ballpark. And of course, one particular player, a young guy by the name of Willie Mays, who was 17 years old when he began patrolling center field for the Birmingham Black Barons in 1948.
What has the last year or so been like for you and the Negro Leagues Museum? This game, the integration of Negro League statistics into the Major League record books, seems like more people than ever are aware of the awesome work you guys are doing. Why is that important? Oh,
it is extremely important. And man, we have been riding a tremendous wave of momentum. You touched on some of those milestones, the inclusion of the Negro Leagues in the video game MLB The Show, which is one of the biggest things this museum has ever done, because millions of young people and young adults are now learning about the Negro Leagues. But Corey, not only are they learning about the Negro Leagues, they are falling in love with the Negro Leagues. And so, but I'm so excited that the world seems to be excited and maybe more interested in Negro Leagues baseball history than ever before.
We could spend hours probably talking about the St. Louis Stars, our town's most known Negro League team. The Cardinals are going to be wearing their uniforms at Rickwood. But from your historic perspective, what are a couple of things that make the Stars specifically notable in baseball history?
They were an outstanding club there in St. Louis. We start, of course, with none other than legendary James Thomas Cool Papa Bell, still believed to be the fastest man to ever play this game, and the greatest nickname in baseball history, the Great Mule Suttles, who, believe it or not, Corey, swung a 50-ounce bat, the legendary Willie James Wells. They nicknamed him in Mexico El Diablo, the devil, because he could dig it out of the dirt. See, we say Willie Wells was Ozzie Smith before we ever knew who Ozzie Smith was.
When two Major League teams take the field at Rickwood next week wearing Negro Leagues uniforms, honoring all that history that you've really dedicated your life to, what's it going to mean to you personally when you get to see this play out?
Oh, it's going to be a tremendous source of pride. I would venture to guess that it's going to be somewhat emotional, not just for me, but for a lot of those former Negro League vets they love seeing those major leaguers wearing those Negro League uniforms. And I hope all of them wear those pants up high, show those socks in tribute to the Negro League. Maybe wear them a little baggy as well.
Final round of the U.S. Open came down to two names, Rory and Bryson. McIlroy up a stroke on 16, but he misses a gimme. Oh boy, here we go. Then it happens again on 18. Are you kidding me? DeChambeau needs a par to win it. He hits a marvelous shot out of the sand that sticks it close, and then he's going to finish off the putt for the victory. It's DeChambeau's second U.S. Open title as Rory McIlroy suffers yet another heartbreak. Time now for the Victory Men's Health, Frankly Speaking. And a quick thought about the Cardinals. They are 20-11 since Mother's Day. That's the best record in the National League in that span. They've only lost one of their last 10 series. Yes, I am aware they're only 500 right now, but I try to be as positive as I can, as much as I can. And I'm choosing to be optimistic about these Cardinals. Most pitching moves seem to be paying off. The veterans on offense are bound to figure it out sooner or later. And you have some big names coming back from injury. No, do not go buy your World Series tickets just yet, but at the very least, we should be due for an intriguing summer of baseball in St. Louis. And after last year, you bet we deserve it. That's our show for tonight. For producer Andy Moeller, I am Corey Miller. Have a great night, St. Louis.
and the other side of it seemingly countless times.
Can you believe that?